Hi, welcome back. Today we're cooking over the top chili. Apologies for the quality of the video. Storm Aisha was well on its way and it was windy as hell, so there's quite a bit of camera movement and sound quality was badly affected. But hey, we're barbecuing in the middle of January in the UK. What more could we expect? Hi, I'm Martin and I'm passionate about cooking outdoors. Today we're going to be cooking over the top chili. It's absolutely freezing cold out here. I can't begin to tell you how cold it is, but I've got family coming round tonight. They're expecting over the top chili, so I've got to moan less about the cold weather and get on with the chili. I've got hot coffee to keep me warm. What could go wrong? Okay, so what we're going to do first is get the beef mince ready. So today I've got 10% fat. When I can get it open. I've got 10% fat today. You can use between 10 and 20%. A lot of people tend to say don't use 5% because the meat gets too dry while it's being cooked. I don't know that by experience. It's probably true, but I've never done it with 5% before. I always tend to go with 10. So I've got my meat. I've got my mince, I've got my spices here. What my spices are, I've got 2 teaspoons of cumin, 2 teaspoons of coriander, and I've got a teaspoon of oregano. Chili powder I've put 2 teaspoons, but you can do it to your own taste. But I'm a brummie, so I like things nice and hot and spicy. I've got a teaspoon of paprika, a teaspoon of smoked paprika, teaspoon of flaked salt, and roughly half a teaspoon of black pepper. So what we're going to do is got my spice mix here, and what I'm going to do basically is put half of that spice mix onto the minced beef. Just half of it. And what we're going to do is we're going to get all this all mixed up, and what we're going to do is get all that infused into the meat. Is get all that in. I can smell all the spices already coming out of this. And what we're going to do is make ourselves a big burger. Most of the spices all over my fingers. I should wear gloves next time. Right, so there we go. I'm going to leave that to stand for a bit, and then what I'm going to do is go and get the Kamado fired up, and then I'll show you all the ingredients going in. Now that the lighters have gone out, I'm going to put the pot ring on and put my cast iron pot right on now. The pot will warm up with the charcoal. Otherwise, if I put a cold pot onto the hot Kamado, the pot could crack from thermal shock. Now let's close the lid and open the top and bottom vents. So the Kamado has warmed up nicely to around 150°C. And now I'm going in with a couple of glugs of rapeseed oil. Okay, so everything's all warmed up nice now. Pot's all nice and warm. I've got onion and 4 cloves of garlic. We'll get them in. Get them nicely coated with oil. And what I'm going to do with these is just get them cooking down a bit and just get them just nice and translucent. Yes, they're looking really good. I've got a red pepper and I've got a chopped up chili. I've gone with the seeds and everything, like, but if you don't want it too hot, just don't have the seeds in it. I mean, this is going to be cooking for quite a while, so I mean, you don't have to get it exactly, you know, cooked right down, because it's going to cook anyway in the sauce and break down, but just trying to get a little bit of flavour in, that's all. Okay, so what I'm going to do next, if you remember, I've got half of my spices left, so I'm going to drop them in as well. And we get all the onion all nicely coated. I mean, you can really smell that coming out. I'm going to go in with 100ml of red wine, just to give it a bit of richness. I'm actually doing dry January at the moment, so I'm not drinking, but all the alcohol will be well cooked out of this by the time this is done. It's really windy and really cold today as well, so I don't know if I'm getting a lot of interference acoustically with the wind, and I don't know if I'm getting a load of camera shake, so apologies if I have. Nice big glug of Worcester sauce, we'll have that in there. Then I'm going to go with 2 tins of tomatoes, get all that nicely stirred in, and then I'm going to go in with 2 tablespoons or thereabouts of tomato puree. That'll do. Okay, so I'm going in with a bay leaf, get that in there, and then I think it's going to be time to put the meat on. So got the chilli warming up nice there. I'm going to put a grill over the top. I'm going to put my big giant burger there, and I'm going to put my probe in it. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to get a bit of smoke on this and just try and get it cooking. Get some nice flavours out of it and a bit of smoke. So just going to drop a couple of chunks in there. Okay, so I'm going to cook this to something like 60°C in the middle. Obviously that's not cooked enough to eat, but it'll just be done nicely and it'll be smoked, and then obviously it's going to cook to, you know, its doneness when it's in the chilli sauce. Okay, I'm going to open it back up. I've just realised an error. What I forgot to do was I was going to put the cinnamon stick in, and I haven't. Okay, so the wind got that bad, the sound quality was terrible, so I've gone back to voiceover. The internal temperature of the mince is now 40°C, so I'm going to open up and go and check and stir the sauce. The mince looks absolutely fantastic. It's taken on a lot of smoke and it's now got a lovely colour. Okay, so as I said, the chili's thickened up a little bit, so what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to stick in there a ½ litre of beef stock, which I've made up with 2 beef stock cubes, and then we're going to leave that in there for a bit as well. Oh, that's looking fantastic. So what I'm going to do is we're going to take this off, and what we're going to do is go and get that chopped up, and we're going to put all that back in the chilli. Chopped up meat into the sauce, and then I've also got a can of kidney beans and a can of cannellini beans, and we'll get them in as well. I always tend to put the beans in at the end. I always find that if I put them in right at the beginning, they tend to sort of just cook down too much and become just absolutely, well, just pulp really. So what I do is I always put them in the end with the meat like this, and then we can let all that cook down, but your beans won't be mushy, they'll be nice and firm. And then I'm going to leave that for another, say, 30 minutes just to cook down nice. Okay, it's been 30 minutes now since I put the the beans and the beef in there. So my God, it's cold out here. So let's have a look, see where we're at. That's looking really good now. I'm really pleased with that. Really pleased. It's looking good. Probably a bit too thick. Maybe I should have watered it down slightly, but you know, it depends on people's taste really. Sometimes people want it thick, sometimes people want it a bit more watery, if you like. I don't know, but I'm really pleased with that. I'm pleased with that. So I'm going to take that in now, and then we can warm that up a little bit later when we come to eat it. So there you go, that's it. Over the top chili con carne.